Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, I hope all of you are able to listen to me. Yesterday, we were going through the application of one of the tools available in Adobe Photoshop, and we had gone through that particular tool, which was basically blur tool. So we had seen the function of the blur tool, how it works, and how you can apply the blur tool. In order to blur one image up to some extent or up to maximum extent depending on the requirement. Okay, so these are the tools that we have done already: eraser tools, clone stamp, pattern stamp, and the blur tool. In blur tool, I explained you that when you are using the blur tool, you must know on which layer that particular object is available or that image is available on which you are applying. So at that time, that particular image should be selected. Okay, so I hope you would have applied. You can see in the examples I had shown you one of the example when I applied this on a hut available, inside an image. So I blurred the hut so that it was not clear that what kind of image is it. It was not that much clear. Means it's basically up to us whether we want to make it entirely unclear or we want to make it comparatively less unclear depending on our requirement. Okay, now today we are going to have smudge tool. This is basically another tool. Smudge tool creates an effect like wet paint smudged with a finger. What does it mean? Wet paint smudged with a finger. Just like when there is wet paint on some painting, you have got one painting, it is a fresh painting, and the color is wet. Right now, the color is wet, it is not dry. And what you are going to do, you are going to disturb those colors using finger. One painter has painted a good image. It is wet, it is not dry right now. And what you are going to do, you are going to spoil it with the finger because the colors are wet. So the colors will be mixed together. The colors will be mixed together. To use this tool, follow these steps. What are these steps? Open the image. Definitely we are going to apply this option on some kind of the image. We would have some image where some clear image is there, but we are going to smudge it. Select the smudge tool in the tool panel. In the other option bar, you can do the following: choose the brush type, select the blending mode. Now these are the related options available to the smudge tool. So first basic thing is that keep in mind there is a difference between blur and smudge. Blur was that image will remain same and it will be blur, just like you make the image blur in capturing the pictures by DSLR. So sometimes you make the background blur. Does not mean that background will be spoiled or disturbed, but it will not be that much clear as the main object is, which is near to the camera. But in smudge tool, what we are going to do, this is the proper understanding of the smudge, this line. Wet paint smudged with a finger. You have got one painting and the paint is wet and you are going to disturb the paint. So basically what you are doing actually, you are spoiling that paint. So that is basically called the smudge. Okay, now we have got over here, this tool is available over here, smudge tool. Okay, When we will select this smudge tool, this bar is very important in all the tools. Whenever we take any tool, over here basically we are going to define some things. What kind of mode is there, how you want to make it smudge, normal, how much you want to make it smudge, 50%, 25%, depending on the requirement. What is the size right now? Can you see the size of my mouse cursor? It is small. If I make it large, 19 points, even I can make, let's suppose it is 70 point right now. Brush size, how much brush size you are taking to make it smudge. Okay. Now over here the other options are there, but these are related to if you want to take the cropping or you want to apply some other selection, so we are not concerned it right now. But only right now we have taken 50%. Okay, now I go and I apply this. Can you see this? What's going on over here? It seems that the painting was wet. The painting was wet. The painting was wet, and someone came and disturbed the painting with the finger. Disturbed the painting with the finger. Why do we need this kind of, you know, tool? Because sometimes we need to, change. We need to make some change in our working. So then we are going to, of course, apply. I have pressed Control Z. Now if I make 20% over here, let me change it up to 20%. I'm going to make it 20% change. Okay. Now if I apply the smudge tool, can you see that the change is comparatively less? It is visible that this is the mouth of the horse, these are the hair of the horse. Why? Because I made it 20%. Control Z. Now I press the Control Z. Okay. Step backward, Alt Control Z. Alt Control Z if I apply. Okay, now see. Now if I take it up to 10%, 10%, let me make it 10%. Now if I apply, the disturbance is even less. Can you see this? Disturbance is less now. The smudge that we are applying right now, it is creating less destruction. Higher the value of the strength, higher the destruction will be. But still it is now near to the blur. It is now near to the blur. But if I make it, let's suppose 100%, and then I apply it, then definitely all the colors will be mixed. You know, you won't be able to identify what kind of thing was there. All the colors are now mixed. So basically, this is the thing that we need to understand, how we are going to apply the smudge tool. Now, what is the need? The need is basically where you don't want to make or keep your image clear. You want to make some changes by your, hand brush, like you are applying a brush on the painting and you want to make some change in it. So then we are going to apply the smudge tool. Another option is there over here with the blur smudge. Another option is there, sharpen tool. If you take the sharpen tool, and let me take the smudge once again, smudge tool. Smudge, if you take the smudge once again, and over here I had applied normal. If you applied the darken, so it is going to make it dark. It is going to make it dark. If I apply not normal but darken, so it is going to make it dark. The head has been dark now. Smudged in this way that it is now dark. Can you see this? Black dots, black color is appearing over there. Control Z. Okay. Now if I take over here in this smudge, if I take over here light, and then I have set the strength 50, Now if I apply it, then it is going to make the mouth or the face of the horse, you know, removing the pixels, lighting. You are making it light if you want to make it in some kind of lighter image. I have taken 50. If I take more value, then of course you will be applying more light on it. But light does not mean that it will be exposed to the lights in that way that we consider. It is going to reduce the darker area. Now if I make it 100, so it is going to reduce the darker area. Now I have made it 100. Now I am applying on it. Okay. So I have changed the strength to the 100. Now in this way we can make it to make control Z. Alt control Z is used to step by step backward. If I apply it to the hue, saturation, these are all options. Hue is basically going to change the color. Now you can see that the face is now darker. Hue is basically deals with the same color but making it, you know, darker. Can you see this? In how much good way we can make such kind of changes? Just like I make change in the face of the horse, and I make some change in the legs. Okay, only to the legs I have applied it. Okay, so in this way we can change it. The hue can be applied. Similarly, if I take the saturation basically increases the strength of the, you know, color. Control Z. So you have to apply color. You have to apply some different options on it. Okay, Control Z. I have applied Control Z to all. So this is basically the thing that we are going to do with it. Now I have closed that image. Now I want to tell you about the sharpen tool. Sharpen tool is basically, you know, opposite to the blur tool. Just like some image is there which is not good, we want to make it sharp. Okay, so we can, but we will take the normal mode. Keep in mind, we will take the normal mode, and I am going to make it 50% sharp. So what will be the difference? Now see the image of the house right now. Let me make one duplicate of this image so that you can see the image quality. Okay, now I have taken the sharpen tool and I am applying on it. Okay, so in this way we can make the image sharp. How we can see that, say that this is sharp? Because the corners, the edges which were there over here, these were not clear, but now these are more clear. All the edges and corners, if you go there and if you see, these are the edges and corners, in this image. These were not that much clear in the image, but now when I applied this, so these are much more clear. Let me apply Control Z over here on this image, and let me apply again normal size to this image. Over here, if you see, now if I take again the sharpen tool and I make it 20%, so how it is going to work? It will make it sharp, but not that much as it was earlier, because 50% was Too, too much, too much. Now, can you see the difference between the two images? You can imagine, you can see, can you see which image is looking better? Sharper image is this is sharp. It is looking better. I also applied to the grass. So over here, the grass is also sharp. The trees are also sharp. So this is how you can apply the sharpen image. The sharp image is basically sharp object. This object sharpen tool. Sharpen tool is there to sharp some object which is not that much good. So you are going to make it sharp. We can also apply this thing just like to these clouds, for example. See, these clouds are there. I'm going to apply on it the mountains, to the mountains. Although their color is light, so that's why this is not that much clear, but we can apply it according to the requirement. Okay, let me mark the attendance. Okay, we have got Abdul Muiz Awais Yasin, then Abdul Muiz to Muhammad Fawaz, and then Hamoud. Inshallah, on Sunday, you are going to have your test. I had explained you this thing that you are going to have your test on Sunday. And I think I had, you know very well the schedule. Schedule has been shared in your Google Classrooms. Can anyone tell me by raising the hand? Just raise the hand and let me know. You're well aware about the schedule of the test. No one is raising the hand. Okay, Mars. Mars has raised the hand first. Mars, when you are going to have the test? Mars, I have unmuted you.
Yes, sir. On Sunday.
On Sunday,
Yes, 22.
22. Okay, good. Fine. So on Sunday is 22. And which chapter will be included?
Chapter 7.
Chapter?
7.
Chapter 7. The previous chapter of the
Yes.
Adobe Photoshop. Okay, good. Fine. Fine. So we move ahead anyway. As I had explained you, I had given you a quick review of the chapter 7 as well in your last class. And I think tomorrow you are going to have. Tomorrow you are not going to have the class. Thursday, Friday and Saturday will be off. On Sunday you are going to have the test. So let me stop it over here. Okay, and let me come towards the previous chapter. The remaining time I think we should give to the previous chapter because tomorrow we are not going to have the class. So we should have a quick revision for this chapter once again. Okay, so this is the chapter. Okay, as I have told you, there will be mostly MCQs. 15 MCQs will be there. 5 marks will be there for your written questions, which are short questions. So you must know whatever I have taught, but it will be in the boundaries of the chapter number 7. Okay, title bar which shows the file name. When you save the file, it is shown on the title bar. Maximize, minimize button, I don't think so these are that much important. Image window, with this window where we open the image, status bar, rulers. Where are the rulers? Okay, let me open the Adobe Photoshop so that you can understand it well. Rulers are from where we can switch on and off the rulers if the rulers are not visible. Okay, anyway, when we take a new file, what are the different options? This can constitute an MCQs. What are the things available over here? Width, height, resolution. What is the default resolution? 72. Can you see this? If I ask what is the default resolution, you are going to say 72 pixels per inch. What are the color modes available? What are different color modes available? RGB color, bitmap, grayscale, RGB, CMY, CMYK. These are the options. Lab color. White. What are the background contents? These are I am telling you about the MCQs. White background, white background, color background, transparent background. Is there any other? No. So you are going to select all these things in a proper way. Can we write the title or the name of the file in the beginning when we are taking the file? Yes. For example, I say drawing one. So that drawing one is displayed over here. Okay. So when we open this, now you can see that from where we can open the rulers. Ruler come out. What is the shortcut to open the rulers? Control R. See here. What is the shortcut to open the rulers? Control R. And how we can close the rulers? Go to view rulers. If the question will be in which option the ruler is available, you are going to say in which menu, you are going to say view menu. From where we can switch on and off the tool panel. Which option is there to on and off the tool panel? The tools which are available to us. So you are going to say the shortcut command is basically control 2 and these are the tools. Control uh, shortcut is not working over here. Anyway, you can go to Windows and you can click to get the tools. Windows is the menu available over here. How we save the file? Control S. How we close the files? Available file. This will be closed by going to the close option. Control W is the shortcut to close one open file. For example, this is an open file. I want to close the file, not Adobe Photoshop. I will go to the close option. Multiple files are open. I will go to close all option. Let's suppose multiple files are open and I want to close all files. I will go to close all Control W. You are going to close it. So all these things are available. Okay, in this way. Now, if I want to save it as what is the extension of the Adobe Photoshop file? Dot PSD. Default extension will be dot PSD Photoshop file. Dot PSD extension is there. But we can also save the image as save for devices where we can reduce the size of the image. We can check any of the PNG or JPEG file. We can reduce the size of the image by taking low, medium, high, max quality from here. So these all are the options which may be asked in your MCQs. Keep in mind. Now let me close this chapter. Come to this chapter. Okay, rulers I have told you. Now tool panel I have already explained you how to open a file. How you are going to open a file? Double click the Adobe Photoshop's gray area. This gray area. Double click over here. You can open the file. Go to file menu. Go to open. You can open the file. Press Control O. Press Control O. You can open the file. These are the three methods. If some fourth method is given which is not correct, you are going to say that this is the answer. It is not correct. All three are correct. In this way, MCQs, the questions will be asked. Okay, now come to the next point. How to open, how to take a new file. New file is control N. What are the options by taking the new file? Now, a number of MCQs can be constructed on this thing. See over here, I have given you the example. A number of MCQs can be constructed on this thing. Why? We can ask you what are the options available when you take a new file. File name is available, width, height available, resolution, color mode. I can put some other thing over here. I can put some other thing over here. Okay, this is available. You are going to say no, this is not available. For example, if I say that when we take a new file, so on the new file selection tool and marquee tool is available on it. Strength is given in over here. Strength is there. No, strength is there when we select some tool. Then strength comes. Strength is not there when we take a new file. Okay. So these all are the basically options that you can understand over here. Now come to the next thing. Height, width, resolution. What? How will you define resolution? It can come in the short question as well. Define the resolution. Resolution is the number of pixels per inch that make up an image. At a higher resolution, an image is sharper, but its file size will also be bigger. Higher the resolution, higher the size of the file. Just here, like you take the pictures from a DSLR or you take pictures from a high megapixel cell phone. So you can see that its image size is comparatively large. Color mode. What are the color modes? I have told you bitmap is there, grayscale is there, RGB is there, CMYK. If I give any other option, if I give over there, which one is not the correct color mode? Normal, grayscale, sharpen, bitmap. So in this way, you are going to select that bitmap is correct. Normal and sharpen are not there. Normal and sharpen are there. Normal and sharpen are the terms used with some different things. Just like over here, you can see that normal is there, darken is there, lighten is there, hue is there, saturation is there. These all are the terminologies. But these terminologies are not there when we are taking a new file and we are selecting the color mode. Color mode, in the color mode, normal is not there. But I am saying you can normal is there, you are going to say no, normal is not there. So you have to answer the MCQs in a very tricky manner by looking at the options. What are the options? Yes, Junaid? Junaid, you want to ask something?
Sir, the lab color option was not there.
Which option is not there? Lab, yeah, lab
The
option
lab color.
is here. Lab option is here, given over here. But this option was not there over here when they have mentioned. But what I am saying, for example, I am just saying that which option is not available. I am giving over here, over there, hue, saturation. You can see that hue and saturation is not there. Okay, lab is there in the practically oversee over you can see that. So if I say that when we take a new file, which option is not available in the color mode, and I am giving over there the normal as well, and I am giving over, yeah, or I am giving over there sharpen or hue or saturation, so you are going to select that thing because others are just like these we have seen, these are available. You have to give the correct answer accordingly. Okay, now background contents. What are the background contents? White background, color, transparent. Three options are there. If I say let's suppose which one is not there and I also give over there black, so you are going to mark black because black is not there. Saving a file, control S is used to save the file, and when you press control save as, so you are going to make another separate file. By default extension is .psd. psd is basically for Photoshop drawing or Photoshop document. Changing a background and foreground colors. What is meant by the background color and what is meant by the foreground color? Basically, these are the two colors. This one, the upper color is foreground color and this is the background color. So basically, these are the two colors. So when we take a new file, so what we can do, we can apply these colors. So this is basically the foreground color and this is the background color. When I'll apply Control Alt backspace is going to fill the foreground color to the object. Okay, so it depends on our requirement. When I press Control backspace, so it is going to fill that yellow color, which is basically over there right now on the background color. So depending on our requirement, we can change them and we can use them according to our requirement. Now, if we come towards the color picker, which one is color picker? Eyedropper tool is basically the color picker. Which tool is used to? About the tools, the number of questions will be there. Keep in mind. What are the four options available in Marquee tool? What are the four options? You can see over here what are the four options. What are the four options available in lasso? Three options. Or which one is not a lasso tool? For example, if I say lasso tool, which one is not the lasso tool? Polygon lasso tool, magnetic lasso tool, and I give any other name, add other name. Let's suppose I say selection. You know that selection is not a lasso tool. What is the purpose of the magnetic vent tool? Let's suppose if I write one MCQs, let's suppose giving you example, which tool is used to select the similar color on the given image? You are going to say magnetic vent tool, because I had told you that magnetic vent tool is there which is going to select the similar color. Okay. So about the tools, there would be number of questions. Which tool is used to crop the image, to make the image, to drop the image, rest of the area, and take the image portion. So you are going to say crop. Crop is basically the image that is basically applied. Okay. What is the purpose of the eraser tool, background eraser tool, magic eraser tool? Now you may be asked about them, but keep in mind those tool will be asked which are given in chapter 7. Those tool we have studied in chapter 8, these will not be asked in this test. Keep in mind. We are right now concerned about only those tools. We have studied selection tool, marquee tool in that chapter. Go through the complete pros and cons of the marquee tool. Lasso tool we have studied in chapter 7. So those tool, just like smudge tool and blur tool, these we have studied in chapter 8. So these are not going to come in your test because these are the topic of chapter 8. Magic wand tool we have applied, on a number of ways we had applied magic wand tool. Of course, you are going to have the questions about the magic wand. Working with the images, we had done a number of things with the images. I have explained you all the things almost by taking real life project examples, by taking different kinds of images. I have explained you not only theoretically but also practically. I have explained you so that you should not feel any problem when you are applying. Copying image, how we can copy the image, how we can make a copy of the image. Drag and drop of the image we had applied over here. Copying a selection to the same image, just like we select some area, we select this flower using lasso tool. We press Ctrl C and Ctrl V and we can make another copy of the same flower in this way. I had explained you all these things. Copying a selection to another image, I remember I had applied that horse. Remember, I selected the horse from one image and I dropped it to another background. So how we can copy using lasso tool or polygon lasso tool or even magnetic lasso tool? We can copy the image. By selection tool, we can pick that image and we can drop to another background. All these things we have gone through. Tricky terms are very much important. So important because we can make a number of questions using tricky terms. Cropping I had explained you. We can crop the image. Cropping is so simple, you know about it. Now, what are the different painting tools that we studied in chapter 7? Brush tool we had applied in chapter number 7. What are the different options which are activated when we take a brush? Click on the brush, go there. Where is the brush tool? This is the history brush tool, paint bucket tool. And this is the icon of the brush tool, but why the brush tool is not visible to me? Yes, brush tool here is with the pencil. Okay, in brush tool, we had drawn the grass. What are the options when we click the brush tool? What are the options? We can ask you in the MCQs. Brush size is there. Brush size. Can you see this? Master diameter. Brush sample is there. Okay. Different brush sizes are there. Different brush designs are there. We had drawn this by taking grass color. I had taken the grass in the green color and I had drawn it. You remember? Mode. Brush mode is there. If you want to take darken, multiply, which mode you want to take? Overlay, soften light, hard. So different modes are there. These can also constitute the MCQs, but definitely will not go in that much detail. But you should know that brush size is there. Okay, diameter of the brush sample is there. You can see over here different samples are given. What kind of drawing is there that you want to make using the brush? Opacity basically describes that how much transparent will be that thing. If you'll increase the opacity, then you are going to see that you are not going to see the background depending on your requirement. Now you can see that in this brush the background is not clear, but if the opacity is less, then we can see the background, because opacity is less. Flow, how much flow is there, whether it will continuously draw or it will draw with the gaps. Basically flow defines this thing. Let me make the opacity 50%. Okay, so this is basically about the flow. Now if I take the flow 100%, you can see that what is the difference. If I take the flow 20%, 10%, can you see this? The flow is broken. There is no proper flow in it. So you need to go through these all options. But we have studied brush tool, we have studied in chapter 7 gradient tool. Gradient tool is there to fill the different colors inside. Gradient, multiple colors are there in the gradient. These are the multiple colors. We had applied these colors as well. Drawing tools, we had applied rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, line, custom shapes. These all shapes which are there, we had applied these shapes as well. Okay. Custom shape tools are also there. So when we go to the, drawing tool, all these tools are also available. So you have to go through all these tools so that you can prepare well, and you need to understand all these things. We can apply these all things. In gradient there are different options available over here. We can apply the over on the gradient. For example, in this way we can draw the gradient. Okay, we can fill using gradient tool. So I hope all these things are clear. You will go through this chapter and you will prepare yourself for all the text. Transform tool is there to transform the image. You will go through the tricky terms and the question and answers as well, because the question can also come from the question and answers as well. Okay. I hope these all things are clear to all of you. Have you got any question? Anything that you want to ask? Go through the complete text of this chapter. Okay, thank you so much, all of you.